Hello everyone, and welcome to Dice Will Roll, the queerest Pathfinder podcast on the planet, where we ask the hard questions like, how can you convince your GM to incorporate save scumming into your TTRPG sessions? We are back, everyone. It's been a hot minute.
A little bit.
Through a series of unfortunate events. It has been 55 days since our last session of Ruby Phoenix. But we are back, and we are ready to rumble. How are you guys all doing? You remember how to play your characters?
No. No, I do not. I'm so glad you asked that.
Well, you'll be glad to know that basically what Shuji does is you run up to the opponent and you deck the shit out of him.
Oh, so like be the best character?
Yeah, basically. You've been doing a really good job of it.
I know, right?
Don't worry, you're all the best character. And now we have a really low-key cam session to do. By which I mean, today we take on the final boss of Fists of the Ruby Phoenix. Previously in Fists of the Ruby Phoenix, our heroes scaled the glass lighthouse. They have defeated Genhara the Black-Winged, the Oni Tengu boss of the cult of ninjas that raised Masami Takahara. You battled across worlds with the Lightkeepers, the villainous team that have been trying to undermine you since the very start. And now, as you all rest in a room of retraining, sitting on a cushion that allows you to meditate and make months' worth of decisions in a single instance, the three of you have prepared yourselves for the final battle against Syndara the Sculptor, the villainous Axiomite who has captured Haojin the Ruby Phoenix. If you win this fight, you will save Haojin, who will be able to use her Ruby Phoenix powers to recreate Goka after it was devastated by King Mogaru, and earn your titles as champions of the Ruby Phoenix tournament, putting you down in legend once and for all as the greatest heroes of all time. If you fail, you, the Radiant Winds, will die. Yaha. Unfortunately, that is the rules here. You will die, you will be erased from history, Haojin will be imprisoned forever, and Syndara the Sculptor, without anyone to stop him, will almost certainly run rampant through the material plane, doing what he did to Goka to places around the planet that his arch-nemesis came from, destroying everything that even remotely reminds him of the woman who locked him away for 300,000 years. So, fellas, would we like to hop into character?
Sure.
Yeah, but before we do, I just want to say that's cute that you think that we're not going to win anyway.
You can try. I will go out on record real fast and say that this encounter is the single most difficult one in any Pathfinder 2nd Edition published content so far. So have fun.
Them's fighting words.
It is. Ruby Phoenix fighting words. So, Sanku, Witch Prince of the Sea, Masami Takahara, and Shi Chuji. The three of you sit around the opulent meditation room where Syndara spent many of his 300,000 years of imprisonment. You are all kind of coming down after your encounter with the Lightkeepers, resting, relaxing, and taking a good while to retrain yourselves for the perfect fighting state against the Sculptor. I'm going to go around to each of you, ask how you're doing, and ask if what you changed when you retrained some stuff. So, we're going to start with Sanku. Sanku, Witch Prince of the Sea, as you sit on the porch of Bahai Kubo, and you have Lolo on your shoulder. How are you doing right now?
I think he's doing pretty okay. I think that at this point the adrenaline has worn off for the moment, but he's also not like crashing, so he's just kind of like in thought. I think he's glad that the Lightkeepers are gone, and I think he's really glad that he was able to help Tino's toughest.
It's been an intense few days, hasn't it? In fact, honestly, This has probably been the most exciting few months of your life, hasn't it?
Exciting positive, yeah.
It all comes to an end today, one way or another. What did Sanku get from his retraining?
Well, I got some new spells. I changed some spells out, in general. I got a few heals just because of the situation. I got Wisp Resonance.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little elemental wisp I can summon. And, it has Accord Essence.
Mm-hmm. Which basically is, it'll block incoming damage by puffing into elemental energy and absorbing into its ally to, like, bolster their life force. So basically, it's a little defensive buff.
Mm-hmm. And then, Siphon Power. You draw upon the reservoir of your patron's magic that resides within your familiar. During your turn, you can cast one spell your familiar knows that was granted by your patron's theme or lessons without spending a spell slot to do so, or even having it prepared. The spell must be at least one level lower than your highest level witch spell slot.
In short, Lolo can cast a level 9 Hydraulic Push.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know if it did much, because I liked the way that Senku was built.
Mm-hmm.
There's just some stuff that for, like, healing.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And now, Masami Takahara.
Yo.
How are you doing? Out of everyone, you've had a particularly interesting few months. Everyone has, like, seen stuff and done stuff, but you specifically have revealed a lot about yourself that your friends didn't know about.
Yeah.
How are you doing right now as you prepare to finish this once and for all?
They are definitely trying to steal their resolve and do their best to put an end to all of this. Mental preparedness, making sure that they're fully physically prepared as well, things like that. So they did retrain quite a bit, thanks to the creative people at Team Plus. Derry, here's your
creative
plug.
and sexy bastards, yeah.
yes, them exactly. So I swapped Masami's Arcane Cascade to a new kind.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit about that?
So instead of getting the damage buff that they usually do, they instead get to slide cast as a reaction, which means that if I cast a spell that's required 2 actions, I can also stride as a reaction afterwards. And that activates my Arcane Cascade.
Slide casting basically gives you, instead of like a pose of power, you are like zipping around the field as fast as you can, basically making it very hard to ever pin you down. You also get a bonus to your reflex saves while it's active.
Yep.
Which is lovely. You got some new feats as well, didn't you?
I did. So I swapped around my feats. I got rid of Force Fang, but instead, along with slide casting, I got Slide Slice, which means that instead of a step, I can stride up to half my speed?
That's right.
Half my
So
speed.
that's basically 15 feet.
Yep. So it's pretty much like another version of Dimensional Assault without the invisibility.
And again, reaction, 15 feet. Pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good. Then, I also got a new level 16 class feat called Splinter's Shadow Assault.
For context, this one was not written by me, but it was written with Masami in mind. Tell us what Splinter's Shadow Assault does.
So, you designate your shadow to Splinter so that you surround your target with shadows of yourself before attacking them from all directions at once. When you cast Dimensional Assault, you can choose to cast a spell as a 2-action or 3-action spell instead of the normal effect. So, for 2 actions, you splinter your shadow into 3 locations that would be in range of your Dimensional Assault that would also allow you to strike the target. Make 3 strikes, one of them from each location you choose, teleporting between your shadows to make these strikes and choosing their order. Each of these strikes increases your multiple attack penalty as normal, but you treat each square your shadows occupy as occupied by an ally for the purposes of flanking. For each attack that hits, combine their damage for the purpose of resistances and weaknesses.
Very, very cool, right?
And then for 3 action, as 2-action version of the spell, except you splinter your shadow into 4 locations, and your multiple attack penalty increases by -3 or -2 if using agile weapons after each of these strikes.
That's generally so good. That's so fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is actually really, really good.
Excellent stuff. Did you get anything else?
I didn't touch any of Masami's rogue stuff. None of her general feats. I believe that is all.
Okay. And there we go. And lastly, but definitely not least, Chuji. It was always your dream to come here to the Ruby Phoenix tournament. But you have found so much more than just glory. You found out things about your friends. You found out things about yourself. You found love. You found horror at the hands of Syndara. You found the truth about your idol, the Ruby Phoenix. And now, you have the opportunity, Chuji. The opportunity to stand up and prove to the world that has always doubted you that you are the best fighter in Golarion. How are you doing?
Chuji has, for their own sake, been getting lots of rest inside this meditation room. They're not retraining anything, because they're my perfect little thump here.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Ritz, what do you want to change about Chuji? And you were like, Chuji's
Nothing.
already perfect. So
I love
you're
Chuji.
good.
I love
Chuji's
Chuji.
mechanics, perfect. No need to update anything.
Quite literally, yeah. They don't need it. They don't want to change anything. I think that they are fine as they are right now. Chuji's thinking about all the bad words they're gonna call Syndara.
And maybe thinking about rescuing Ruby Phoenix, right?
Oh, of course. That's a given.
So, Chuji, Senku, Masami. The 3 of you are in this room. You've all meditated. You've all rested. You've all recovered. Physically, it's been like weeks have passed since your last fight. You have mastered new skills and learned new abilities, and they have muscle memory, even though they are brand new to you. But your memories are still fresh. Moments ago, you defeated the Lightkeepers. And now, after this short break you've taken in Syndara's room, you are preparing to climb to the top of the glass lighthouse and meet the sculptor and save the Ruby Phoenix. Now, I'm going to drop all of you into character and let you tell me what happens now.
I think that Chuji's probably, since they're the one who is not, or they're the only one who's not specifically retraining everything, and they're probably just generally training. I think they've asked both Masami and Senku to let them know when they're finished with their training.
Mhm.
Because quite literally they've spent their whole time either sleeping or punching something.
Senku eventually comes over and is like, I'm finished. I don't want to do that anymore.
Sick of it?
Yeah. I don't want to think for that long about what is or isn't good. I feel like that'd be bad for your head.
Yeah. Point in case.
Nonsense! Lolo explodes out. It is always good to do some self-reflection, and I can see from all the things you've learned in the last few minutes that you have done excellent on all your studies, Senku. I could not be more proud.
Thank you. I just didn't want to overthink it.
I think you've done the exact right amount of effort, my boy. How about the rest of you? How are all of you doing right now?
Chuji sticks out a big thumbs up.
What did you learn, Master Chuji?
Jack shit.
What?
I learned that I wanna kill Syndara and get this over with.
Oh, and you didn't learn anything new to help you on your quest?
But Chuji blinks at Lolo, and takes a second and smiles, and they're like, you know what, Lolo, I did learn something.
What did you learn?
You're old.
You've already known that. I've been quite clear about my ancient age since the very start.
No, I've learned that you're, like, really old.
I am.
So old.
Okay, I'm starting to feel a little self-conscious now.
Well, I think they're making fun of you.
Enough out of you, he scowls. Master Masami, have you done well in your retraining?
Well, I guess so. I feel a bit faster, if that's something to go off of.
That is excellent to hear. I myself, I've learned a few of my old tricks again. And he kind of opens his mouth and conjures up a ball of water that he like spits into the air. I reckoned I'll be able to give you a hand for once, instead of simply waiting in the back for you to do your work, Sanku.
Well, thank you. You
How-
help plenty, though.
He kind of nods sagely, like, yeah, I know.
I love him. He's so silly.
So, this is it, hmm?
This is it.
For this adventure,
The man who defeated the Ruby Phoenix.
Temporarily defeated the Ruby Phoenix.
You won't get another chance.
Defeated implies that she can never ever beat him again.
You make a good point. Asiris goes over his face and says, "Are the three of you alright? Do you feel you'll be able to do this? This may be the most dangerous fight you will ever do. And I mean that very genuinely."
Of course I can do it.
we've been preparing this whole time.
I think we can.
I suppose so. Well, in that case, Radiant wins. Would we like to go and defeat the Lord of this tower and save the Ruby Phoenix?
It's about time we do.
Yeah.
Honestly, this was a long time coming.
All right. Then, let us begin making our way to the top of the glass lighthouse. Sanku, make Kubo take us up.
Okay. Let's get inside.
And Senku, climbs into Kubo, Senku climbs into Kubo, and he sticks his staff in like the little slot that it goes in, and he's like, "Okay."
It's kind of like a steering wheel.
A little bit, yeah.
That's really fun.
But he pats Kubo on like a counter, and is like, "Let's go."
Okay, Kubo rears up a little bit, click, clack, click, clack, it's its claws, opens the front door for Chuji and Masami to make their way inside, and gets ready to climb to the top of the glass lighthouse. You guys ready to go?
Yup.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go take on the final boss of Fists of the Ruby Phoenix. You make your way through a few rooms. A circular opening punctures the ceiling of this tall rectangular chamber. A single silver thread, as thin as a beam of light, hangs ominously and impossibly from the opening center directly above a mandala painted on the floor. Beyond, high overhead and far away, a starry sky looms. The whole room is oddly still and silent, and the air is bitingly cold. A stairway emerges, spiraling around this silver thread, and Bahai Kubo begins to climb. But as the building moves up, you don't get the sensation of moving upwards. It's more like the entire plane is moving downwards.
Weird.
And then you get to the shattered spiral. The end of the silver thread opens into a series of semi-transparent platforms, high above Syndara's island. The structure forms a jagged spiral pattern, its platforms ragged and torn, with no sign of the meticulous detail or pristine precision of the lower levels. Around the floating platforms yawns an endless starry expanse, each point of light a unique color, many utterly impossible to describe. where the lower level of the lighthouse reflected Syndara's perception as he wished to be viewed. Perfect, precise, and in control. This upper level paints a truer picture. The formerly pristine rooms have been shattered, marked by ash, rubble, and gaping holes where parts of the planar fabric were simply annihilated in Syndara and Haojin's titanic final clash. At the far end of the platform stands a throne of sandstone, on which Syndara sits, perfectly poised, waiting to engage with you, the finalists of the Hungry Ghost Tournament. On a pedestal to his right rests an hourglass containing a fine ash, all that remains of Haojin, the Ruby Phoenix. I assume the three of you emerge from behind Kubo.
Yeah, 2G jumps down.
Yeah, I think Sanku comes down on his on his staff. The kind of like but he like floats down, all dainty.
Asami does a ninja hop down.
And Lolo rests on your shoulder, Sanku. Syndara the Sculptor stands, and as he does, there's like a ripple that comes from the ground beneath him. The floor is perfectly polished, and at first, what you saw to be like an infinite starry sky above and below, you realize beneath your feet, it's like water. But it's water that is perfectly solid. But it reflects exactly what is above and below. So as he approaches you, you see a perfect reflection of him underneath him. And then if you looked down, you would see perfect reflections of yourselves as well. Like where each of your feet is connected directly with your mirror image, you know? And those stars above, in all those infinite colors, you realize that each of them is a world that Syndara created while he was locked away. And the sculptor speaks. Part of me had really worried, you know. I had been afraid that it would have been something else to finally defeat you. Perhaps the Lightkeepers would finally be able to best you. They were foolish for thinking they could do so after the amount of times they had lost to you, but maybe you'd slip up. Or perhaps you would be unable to defeat Tino's toughest, unwilling to harm your former friends. They'll stay like that forever, you know. Even after you're long gone, they'll remain the way they are. Or one of the many monsters in the island. The Foo Dogs, or those mechanical orreries, or even the yokai. But you overcame them all. You've made it true to be champions of the Hungry Ghost Tournament, and for that, I truly congratulate you. I'm sure you find it has been a much truer challenge than the Ruby Phoenix Tournament was. The stakes much higher. So, you stand before me, the Grand Master, and I offer you your reward. And he raises a hand, and the Phoenix Hourglass comes into his hand. Haojin, the Ruby Phoenix, my apprentice. You know our story now. I presented it to you exactly as it was, with no embellishments. You know the things I have done wrong, and you know the things that she has done wrong. You can have her back now, if you can defeat one final challenger. And his smile falls immediately, and he lets go of the hourglass, which falls slowly into the watery floor beneath you, and then reemerges out of the table. And he waves a hand, and that table is sent flying off into the distance. Before anything else, I just want you to know, each of you, Sanku, Witch Prince of the Sea, Asami Takahara, and Shi Chuji, I respect all of you immensely, and I absolutely despise you all. You three are the very image of the worst things about the Ruby Phoenix tournament. You entered with no goals except personal glory. You made friends with the others instead of doing what was right and becoming stronger and only focusing on your own situations. And now, you have put everyone you love in danger by robbing them of the one thing that could defend them when I terrorized the rest of Golarion as revenge for the torture that Hao Jin put me through. So when I kill each of you in this final fight, I just want you to know that I respect you because you are strong, and I hate you because you are weak. And he kind of leans back a little bit. Now, if you have questions or final words, I grant you the chance now.
You are such a petty little has-been. You know, I genuinely hope that you had fun watching us, and that you had a great time, and that it was entertaining, because that's the last time you will ever feel any kind of positive emotion whatsoever. I'm gonna fucking kill you. You destroyed my city, you took my mother's life's work. You're such fucking scum. How do you not feel embarrassed by yourself?
I feel no shame, because I know that my cause is righteous.
Man, 300,000 years and absolutely no attempts to look inward.
You only watched from your throne. You only watched us from afar. And you have the absolute gall to look down on us and tell us what we are and our weaknesses like you know us. You don't even know yourself. You're just so consumed with your anger and rage with, as Chuji said, zero self-reflection. You think having people around you is a weakness? When that's what you wanted for so long? Granted, it was for a selfish reason. But you just wanted someone to look up to you. Someone that wouldn't surpass you, but someone who saw you as an idol. That's all you wanted. That's all you cared about. You only have malice for the Ruby Phoenix because she's more talented than you. What does that say about you?
A flash of anger does cross his face, but he collects himself.
I don't care what you stand for. I don't care that you respect us. I don't even care that you hate us. Whatever you feel means nothing to me. I just want you to feel the pain that you've caused every single one of us and everyone in Goka, everyone on Golarion. Because that's what you deserve. Eternity of pain.
Maybe so. But know this. Today is not the day that I cease causing all those in your pathetic realm agony.
You say that like you're getting out of this. We won't allow you. You don't know what powers we possess, even if you were watching us. You may be able to see, but you're blinded by your rage.
A sneer crosses his face.
Senku is still floating there, and that eventually he's kind of kicking his legs because he's sitting on the staff, sort of saddle style, and he's like, you know, I thought that I had an idea of why you were upset. 300,000 years is a really long time, and I don't think I'd wish that on anybody. But you can't get other people wrapped up in your vengeance and anger. I didn't do anything to you. Chuji didn't do anything to you. Masami didn't do anything to you. Tina's Tavis didn't do anything to you. None of those people did anything. You were just mad because they like somebody that you hate. You let your anger take you over. I don't think that you have any sort of righteous motivation here. Vengeance won't fix anything either anyways. Even if you won, even if you defeated us, you'd still be angry and sad and miserable, and nothing would change that. Because you don't care about improving yourself. You already think that you're perfect. I just think that's sad.
And might I add, as a teacher myself to a student of magic, I find your conduct as a teacher was most disappointing. You took pride in yourself rather than your student, and that is why you failed as a teacher. And Lolo kind of looks at all three of you and says, while I am only officially the mentor of Sanku, I consider Shichuji and Masami Takahara students in their own right. And I have seen them grow from the very beginning to the peak of their power. And I can tell you that they, each individually, are greater fighters than you will ever be. And Syndara scowls at Lolo. His eyes bear into you, Sanku. And they then flick over you, Chuji, make eye contact, and end on you, Masami. Before he laughs and says, such bold words. It truly is a shame that I shall be their final witness. You aren't leaving here today, because as you stand in my plane, the one I created, you shall find. And he kind of drops into a martial stance. You are not in the presence of a man. And then the worst thing possible happens.
Uh-oh.
His reflection beneath him unsinks and enters a different martial art pose. You are in the presence of a god. And everyone, I want you to roll initiative against Syndara and his reflection, which will be fighting your reflections.
Oh, shit.
Oh, fuck.
45.
47.
So, top of the order is Masami Takahara. Masami, as you prepare to launch yourself into combat, you see Syndara step away from his reflection. The way that this fight will work is that there are two Syndaras. One above, one below. You can switch the camera, as it were, between you and your reflection at any time to either fight the main one or the sculptor. You'll move your token around on the map in the same way altogether because your reflection is still tied to you. So if you want to fight the real one or the other one, it doesn't really matter. They're basically just on different sides of the same coin. Right now, They both stand in front of the throne, but they have unsynced from each other, and they can't split up. You and your reflection need to move in the same way, no matter what. So combat begins. Syndara the Sculptor stands before you with the might of a man who has created infinite worlds. And now you stand above them as he is able to control the stars above while you remain in his dimension. What the hell do you do?
Okay, so I think they are going to start off with a spell.
Okay.
They're going to start off with a telekinetic projectile at the man.
Mm-hmm.
45.
A 45 is going to be a miss, I'm afraid.
Okay. So, question for my Arcane Cascade. Even if I don't hit with the spell, I still cast a spell.
Yes, you did cast your spell, so you can activate sleight casting.
Which they are going to do, so they are going to activate their Arcane Cascade.
How does this look? Tell me, how does Masami's sleight casting look?
You know how in, like, various shonen animes when someone's, like, moving really fast, it's a sound effect and they're, like, after images?
Oh my god,
You
yeah.
know, like, Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
That's their slide casting.
Okay. Oh, you flash step! You're flash stepping!
Yep.
Oh, I love that! Okay. So you attempt with telekinetic projectile. What are you launching at him?
I think they're launching the Kama at their sides.
So you try hit him with a Kama, and I think he just, like, leans to the side a little bit so it goes over his shoulder. And he sneers at you cockily. But you are... Where are you going? Where are you moving?
Right next to him.
You get up in his face. Got it.
Slide casting is a reaction, so I'm using my regular Chocoto here, so this is the one that has haste on it.
Mm-hmm.
So technically I have 4 actions, by the way.
Okay.
And they are going to try I could do a spell strike because I still have 2 actions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's gonna be a spell strike with the same spell.
Okay, got it. Go for it.
So, break. Oh fuck. Okay, that's 38.
You try swing with another like psionically empowered attack, but I think he like blocks it with a defensive like whack with his arm, and he sneers in your face and says, "This is what overpowered all the others. This." Absolutely pathetic.
Almost pathetic as your behavior this past few years.
He just snarls. Is that your turn, Masami?
Unfortunately.
Okay, Sanku, it is your turn. Syndara the Sculptor has been jumped by Masami, but quickly blocked all of their attacks, which is crazy considering you know that Masami is the best of the best. What do you do?
Maybe I'll do the Wisp Resonance this first turn so I don't have to think about it later.
Okay, so Sanku, can you explain to me what it is you do and how it looks?
I summon an elemental wisp. I'm obviously picking like a water elemental. I think that they look kind of like, you know, when there's like a drop of water. You know what the way that like a single dewdrop looks. I think that they look like that but big.
Okay, with your level, you can summon 3 of them at once, right?
I think so.
And using your spell trickster stuff, you cast summon elemental, but rather than one big elemental, you call forward 3 of these little guys who will be able to protect you and your allies from harm. So they kind of float up into the air, and they kind of, I think they maybe like circle you a little bit, and they let out a few, you know, they're your buddies, and they're here to keep you safe.
He goes, hi, thank you.
And that is going to be your turn as you are preparing to... Each of these can use a reaction to negate 20 damage, which is choice.
It's very choice.
You will have to sustain this every turn, but you have, like, cackle if needs be, so you'll be good.
That's fine.
Chuji, it is your turn. Syndara the Sculptor looms. What do you do?
I would like to immediately enter my Phoenix stance.
Okay, your Phoenix Feather stance. You
Yes.
get up on one foot, and you hold out a hand, and you're ready to go. As the light from your flames kind of illuminates you from below, you look extremely goddamn cool right now. What do you do with your 3 actions?
Chuji is going to go on the other side of Syndara.
Okay, you're flanking.
In this house, we flank.
And he will now be off guard.
Yeah, off guard. And Chuji's going to 2-action 1-inch punch.
Okay, go for it. Smack him.
52.
52 is going to be a hit. You get behind him and you throw a massive punch into the back of his... Well, you tell me. How does this go?
Oh no, Chuji's punching the back of his fucking head. You were right.
Rules in the showdown. So, roll me that damage as you throw.
Just so you know, this is a flat 17, by the way. So if I keep going at it, I really could crit.
Maybe.
I would only have to do a fucking 19. I'm flanking. All right, 27 damage.
Okay, and as you throw that in the back of his head, he lets it. And he's now having to turn, so he's got like his he's like looking at you, Chuji, but like he's got his shoulders facing both you and Masami, you know? He's trying to like get into a position that he can see both of you. And he's he's just kind of squinting at you, getting himself back into position.
Hey, dickhead.
So he takes 27 damage.
Cool.
And I will say, the other Syndara also takes this damage. They may be reflections, but like what you do to one will happen to the other when it comes to damage.
Oh, okay.
They are the same person.
It's true.
Is that your turn, Chuji?
That is my turn.
Then everyone, I am so sorry.
Oh.
Because it is Syndara the Sculptor's turn. And his stat block is massive. Would you like to know how many different actions he has? Just for fun.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different abilities. And he's going to start by turning and looking at you. And I think he's going to turn his back on you, Chuji, because he doesn't need to care about you right now.
Okay.
His reflection zips, and we flip the camera, and we are on the reflection side, and the reflection comes up to fight you. And he is going to immediately start with a temporal flurry. He moves, and he temporal flurries you. 3 unarmed strikes. He's going to start with a knife hand attack on you, where he is going to pierce into you with a jab. It's a hit by 0. That is just your AC while you're in Phoenix Feather Sense. So that is going to be a 45, Chuji. 45 damage.
All right.
And then, with his second attack, that is going to be a palm strike, which has a -4 multiple attack penalty. So then this next one is also a hit. 38 bludgeoning damage as he punches you now with an open hand attack.
Okay.
And lastly, he's going to make a final palm attack into the back of your head.
This bitch.
He's basically what happened is when he ran up to you, this one is a miss.
Okay.
It's not that he attacked really fast. He slowed down time around him and then zump, 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 zump at you. We then flip the camera back up and it's Syndara that you are teaming up with Masami and Shuji. He's going to use Gateway Onslaught. Syndara folds the fabric of the glass lighthouse before opening up several gateways from which dangerous elements spew forth. He teleports to his throne. This does not trigger attack of opportunity or stand still, but it does immediately blast forward 4 elemental gateway attacks. So the first one is going to go at you, Chuji, as a portal to the plane of fire opens. How much do you like fire?
Love it.
Well, do you love a 44 to hit?
Not really.
Does that hit you with your Phoenix Feather stance?
Am I counting as being flanked right now? If not, then no.
You are not being flanked.
Then no, it does not hit.
Okay, Chuji, as he teleports, you see this opening just in time and duck under it as a gout of flame emerges from the fabrics of reality. Next, however, he is going to make another one against you, Masami, this time with an elemental gateway electricity. So a hole in reality opens and lightning shoots out with a 50 to hit. Well, that is going to be 40 electricity damage into you, Masami. And you take that as basically a tear in the fabrics of reality open, and you see those awful mathematical portals that have been taunting you since Danger Island, and it shoots lightning into you, point blank. Lastly, from right behind you, Sanku, is going to be an elemental gateway, acid from the plane of water. And this is going to be pure brine water.
Ooh.
That is a critical miss.
I don't think that hits at all, actually.
That doesn't hit at all is the problem. So what happens here is it's so sparkly. That's what he gets. Some of that salt water does get in his eye, and he is dazzled for a turn. So a gout of seawater shoots out, and you go, ah! And you zip out away, and then some of it gets in his eye. He doesn't react particularly, but he does like squint, go. So he is dazzled for 1 turn. And with his last free action on this turn, Syndara walks the spiral. He rotates the space of the glass lighthouse around himself to carry him to a distant location in an instant. He strides twice. This movement doesn't trigger reactions. So the world around him revolves, and Chuji, without either of you moving, suddenly there's like 50 feet between you both. He is off in the distance. And I think, meanwhile, flip the camera, you're with the one that's still with you over there, Chuji. The Syndara beneath you, that one, your reflection looks at him, and you see that his wounds are healing.
Ah, fuck.
The fucker has fast healing,
This bitch.
and he recovers 20 HP.
What?
I was not kidding when I said this is the most difficult fight in Pathfinder 2nd Edition so far. And as the second round starts, something bad happens. One of the stars floats into your area and emerges from the mirror beneath you. And everyone, welcome to the power of world spheres. Every turn, a world sphere will emerge. They are 15-foot areas. They don't affect Syndara, and each of them has their own planar rules. So this particular one is going to emerge in a way that catches all three of you. And this particular world sphere, as this bubble of starlight emerges around you, suddenly you are not in a beautiful starry scape. You are in a howling wasteland. The natural elements of a thorough, harsh land roils continuously through this world sphere. Any creature passing through it will take 10d8 cold, fire, acid, or electricity damage. I think in this case it's going to be cold, as a frozen wasteland emerges around you all in this bubble of starlight. So everyone at the start of your turn, you'll all have to make me a reflex save. Starting with you, Masami, you have a +1 to this because of your slides casting.
Wow, I've been rolling super low today. 41.
A 41 is enough to pass.
Okay.
Because you have your +1 to this, and also because, Masami, you've busted high DC. You got really high fucking reflex. So you will take... Do you have anything with your reflex here? You don't have the thing that, like, reduces damage, do you? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything. The only thing I have is, like, uncanny dodge and evasiveness.
Okay, so you will take half 34. That is 19 damage, Masami, as the cold air from this world sphere that is bubbling up to the surface kind of surrounds you as you were in one of his planes. Oh, sorry, 17 damage. I can't count. Masami, you're in one of these. It sucks. Syndara is in two places at once, one far to the northeast, and then one right behind Chuji. Where do you go?
Then Masami is going to use their dimensional assault.
Mm-hmm.
And this is at half their speed, which their speed is 40 right now, so they go 20.
Holy shit, okay. So you can teleport to either of these versions of Syndara, whether it's which side of the camera we are flipping to.
They are going to help out Shuji and go outside of the arena as well.
Okay, so you're no longer in the world sphere. Good call.
Yep.
So, Masami, you teleport through this frozen wasteland and appear right beside Syndara and prepare to strike him. He turns at you and he grins.
Well, this is also gonna... Masami's also grinning because, Splinter Shadow Assault.
Oh, shit! So it's not just you. It's how many of you?
3. This is a 2 action.
Okay, so... Masami, sprouting from beneath you, come you and then 3 other Shadow Masamis jump out of this world sphere, landing around Syndara on all sides and group attack him.
Okay, so the way this works is I make 3 strikes, and this also counts as being flanked, correct?
That's right, so he will be off guard.
Okay. So then 46.
That is a hit.
And then so this goes with multiple attack penalties, so this one's gonna be on -2.
Okay.
Mother of God. Okay, 38.
Unfortunately, that one is a miss, but you've got one more. Let's go.
Nat 20.
What's the weapon you're using?
It's their Chocoto. It's their regular Chocoto.
Okay. What stuff do you have on your Chocoto? Masami, you lunge for it. And how does this attack look? How do you catch Syndara totally off guard with your Splinter Shadow Assault?
I think while Masami is just sneering at him, their shadows fan out and burst up around him. They do start laughing, and after every, like, the real Masami and the shadows are like swapping positions with every strike. So it's almost like, are you sure it's me? Are you sure I'm gonna hit you from here? What about over here?
Okay.
Damage from the first one is 28.
Very nice.
And the crit damage from the second one is 46.
Holy shit. So that's for a total of 73 damage. Wow. Oh, Masami, he's got 269 HP left. Take a hero point.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Masami, you lunge out of this blistering world sphere and slash, and Syndara is tumbling backwards, snarling, and says, "You insolent!" Ugh." And he kind of like waves a hand, and there's a gust of wind, and the other shadows are dispelled, and it's just you again. And next in the... Is that your turn? No, you got one action left, don't you?
Technically 2, because...
Technically 2.
Yeah.
But your attacks would now be at a -10, just so you know.
Yes. But they aren't going to attack, I don't think. They're gonna cast a spell.
Okay, what's the spell?
You can't take away my shadows, chromatic image.
I was like, oh man, his saves are really good. Are you sure you want to do this? God damn it!
And you know where those chromatic images are? Where the shadows were.
Yeah. So he waves these shadows away, and they are dispelled, and then they reform as solid, colorful versions of you. And he snarls this. You think you're very clever, Takahara. You've outsmarted all the opponents you've ever come across before, but you only need to die once.
Oh, please, I have a lucky streak. You think you can break it?
Okay, so Masami, you have your chromatic image active. You could slide cast if you wanted to.
Actually, I think they will slide cast. They're gonna slide cast to flank with Chuchi.
So as you're casting this, you think, and you're behind him again. I'm so glad that literally the final combat, you've learned how to flash step. How fucking great is that? Senku, Witch Prince of the Sea, it is your turn. You are in the middle of a freezing blizzard as this world sphere pops up around you and is floating into the sky above. This mini demiplane is freezing your balls off. Roll me a reflex save.
Well, he doesn't have any balls, so just be aware of that.
35 is going to be a fail, Senku. You will take 10d8 cold damage.
Uh-huh.
Now, I believe you have a resistance to cold, right?
I do. I have a resistance to 5.
Okay, so you're going to take 46 cold damage. Senku, you have 3 actions. If you want to keep your Wisp Resonance active, you have to spend 1 action or a focus point to cackle. What do you do?
I think Senku's like, let's get out of here. And he grabs onto Lolo and he flies them out.
All right, Senku, be careful. It seems that Syndara exists in 2 different places at once. We need to keep an eye on both of them.
Okay.
I think he's gonna cast maybe... Why not? Moonburst on the one that's far away, if that's okay.
Okay, cool, go for it.
Okay. I need a reflex save.
That is going to be a 43.
Yeah, that saves.
Okay, so we'll take half damage from...
42.
That will be 21 damage to effectively both of them, right?
Yeah.
So, Senku, tell me how this looks. Describe this for me. As the version of Syndara who was caught with acid in his eyes is dazzled, looks up, and suddenly a moonburst is happening. What does this look like?
So they're in, like, it looks like a galaxy, right?
Mm-hmm. With a big snowstorm bubbling out of the middle of it.
Yes. I think that I think that it comes out from, like, one of the stars. It looks kind of like not an actual, like, explosion of a star. Like, if that was small.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like a mini supernova?
Yeah.
Ooh, that racks into Syndara, and both versions feel it. And he snarls as he looks up with malice in his eyes. He didn't like that. And as... Oh, was that giggle? Was that a little giggle?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna use cackle, but I don't cackle. He giggles. Thank you.
Okay. As you do this, Loa says, well done, Senku. You're keeping an eye on both of them and keeping him on his toes. Let's show him what we've got.
Smile.
And that is going to be your turn, right?
Yes.
Chuji, it is your turn. Brrr. You stand in a snowstorm. This mini demiplane has bubbled up around you and is floating away, but you are currently in it. Will you roll me a reflex save?
Maybe. I'm gonna use a hero point.
You're unfortunately that was a nat 1. You don't want to freeze to death.
I would really not like to. No. Okay, 39.
That is going to be a failure, I'm afraid. But it's better than crit fail, right? So you will take 10d8 cold damage. And that is 41 cold damage, Chuchi. Brrr. The frozen wasteland chills you to your bone as you prepare yourself to fight against the sculptor. He stands before you. He's currently preoccupied with Masami, but on the other side of the world, if we flip the camera back up to the original, we can see Syndara is also far away, currently getting ready to attack Sanku with something. You have 3 actions. What do you do?
2 action 1-inch punch.
Okay.
Then, 39.
Unfortunately, that is going to be a fail.
I fucking refuse to take L's, so I'm going to use another hero point.
Good, you have plenty. Go for it.
54.
Oh, Chuchi. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Anarchic. Anarchic.
Anarchic, please.
Chuchi, roll me a d6. And pray it's a 5 or 6.
It's a 6.
Yes! She Chuji, as you pull back your fist and you get a critical strike on this, tell me how it looks. Remember, you are wearing those crazy-ass gauntlets you bought at the Yokai Night Market. They're these massive fucking titanic fists of steel, and beneath them, anarchic runes beneath begin to float out, and with a 6 on your d6 roll, you are going to do double maximum damage on a 2-action 1-inch punch. Tell me how this looks.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Chuji... Ugh. It's like a crazily shot one-piece punch. Like, you know what I mean? You know how...
Oh, you're
you know
kind of
how...
like Gear 5 type stuff?
I'm saying this as someone who's never seen a single episode of One Piece in my life, but I've seen clips of it. How sometimes the camera will like follow Luffy's fist, you know? Exactly that. But there's
the impact frames that come from this attack, my man.
Yeah, exactly. And those little runes just floating about, but I think they kind of explode a little upon impact with Syndara.
Ooh. Oh my god, and he's a lawful creature. This, like, extra chaotic damage is really gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
Shuji?
Eat it.
That's 160 damage to Syndara the Sculptor. Shuji, you throw the world's biggest fucking punch. Is Syndara set on fire, or is he knocked back? Masami, your reaction.
What? Wait, huh? I didn't... Huh?
Masami, you have gang up.
Opportune backstab. Oh my god. Yes, I have that.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Shuji, you punch Syndara full force into Masami.
Please. But wait, we're flanking. It doesn't...
It works! He's flanking! Oh my god!
It's a 44,
that's a hit.
which is a miss by 1,
Roll
but
me
fuck
that
you, I'm
damage.
flanking. 22 damage.
Your beautiful
22
boss.
damage!
Your beautiful boss.
My beautiful boss! That is 182 damage to my beautiful boss, the hardest in Pathfinder 2nd edition. He went from over 200 HP to 66!
I really
so
wish
close.
that was... I really, really wish that was 69.
And then I'm going to Flurry of Blows.
Okay. A flurry of blows. So wait, hold on. You throw a fucking mega anime impact frame super punch into his spine, I think, right? And he lets out an ah as he is launched, and the world, I think, shatters a little bit as he does. And he is launched full force into Masami. Masami, how do you attack?
I think as they see him, like, back up towards them, they swiftly backhand their Chokuto and slash from down diagonally from down up on his back.
Okay. And he, as he is stumbling to his feet, now pulling himself off the Chokuto, Chuji, you jump into the air and you're coming down with another flurry of blows. Roll me that attack.
Kill. kill, kill, kill.
Damn.
They both miss.
Unfortunately, those are both misses. As you are launching yourself at him, he turns and he quickly blocks, and you can see genuine worry on his face because he was not expecting to be hit that hard. And he snarls, "How did you? Anarchic."
What was that about you being disappointed?
You have not yet won, Chuji. And is that your turn, bud?
Yeah, they blow one last raspberry.
It is Syndara the Sculptor's turn. And he is very clearly quite distressed. So the one that is by you quickly is going to throw out a planar restructuring. And you see him make a few quick hand signs, and mathematical equations form out of thin air, and he spreads them out wide. Effectively, what he is doing here is he is reworking the existence of the Glass Lighthouse. And he is going to heal himself as if he is hit by a heal spell. Essentially, he's restructuring his own spine to be less broken. Like, he has to rewrite reality to undo some of the harm you just did to him.
That goes hard.
So, that's going to be 10d8 plus 80 damage, or healing. This is a concentrate effect.
I already used my reaction for up to backstab.
Unfortunately, you are unable to punish him for healing, as he restores 117 HP as he rewrites the wounds that you did to him.
Okay,
Hardest
so
boss in the game.
what I'm hearing is save the reactions. Got it.
This is just like when you play Pokemon and they use a full restore.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta make him last, right?
At the very least, you know that they always have 2 and only 2. But this guy, I don't know.
He snarls and says, "I will not go down so easy as all the other foes you've ever encountered. I am a god, and I shall not be defeated by the likes of you, street rat, fox, and fisherman."
Oh.
And I think he's going to use another temporal flurry, where he's going to attack you, Chuji, because you have upset him quite badly.
Crybaby.
3 unarmed strikes, so that's going to be 1 knife hand and then 2 palm attacks. So, knife hand.
Okay.
53 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, Chuji, he stabs into your shoulder with his fingers, doing 48 piercing damage.
Woo!
I think Sanku is going to, or one of the wisps is going to use one of its reaction to do its little thing.
Oh, fine.
Okay, and what's that tang?
I need to make out with you. You're so white.
What the fuck? I just repeated what you said.
I know, it was just cute. It's going to accord essence. You are affected by the resonance ability of any elemental wisp as though you had the same trait.
So, Chuji, for a moment, as you are stumbling back from this attack, your body suddenly shimmers with liquid as the wisp floats up to you and goes, whee! And it splashes into the impact wound and heals you slightly. That's going to be 20 healing.
Okay.
Syndara snarls, and he's going to try to attack you again. So, that's this time. He's going to go in with an agile attack with palm. So that is a 51 to hit.
Hits.
And that is 41 more damage. And then he attacks one last time, and that is going to be a 43 to hit.
Die. Don't speak to me. It's not a hit.
Okay, so Chuji, he attacks. Meanwhile, in the distance, the other Syndara is going to... We flip the camera around, and he's against you, Sanku. And he is going to just open up a gateway onslaught, and all of them are at you, Sanku. So that's going to be... He teleports back to the throne, And as he is standing atop it, he makes a few hand motions, and 3 portals open around you, Sanku. 1 fire, 1 acid, or 1 fire, 1 cold, 1 electricity.
God damn. Okay.
Does not precede that moonburst.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be... First one is a 55. That is a crit. So, Sanku, unfortunately, that is going to be 96 fire damage.
Okay.
Well, would you like one of your guys to block this, or are you good?
Yeah, I think I'd like one of the guys to block it.
Okay, so a wisp, as you are scorched by it, a wisp flies towards you and bubbles around the wound, healing it slightly. That's another 20 HP, Sanku.
Okay.
And then he's going to blast you with a cold one. And this one is a miss. Sanku, you are able to duck out of the way as this one shoots an icy gale at you. Finally, electricity out of the last one. This one is going to be a 33, almost a crit fail, but not quite.
Ouch.
So you are looking bad, Sanku. You are left with 86 HP as he did an immense amount of damage.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, actually, no, you're at 106 because the little wisp healed you, smiley face.
Yeah.
And with his last action, having used Gateway Onslaught to teleport and use those 3 attacks, I think he's going to move to flank you, Chuji, once again.
Oh, wow.
No
Is he
life.
going into the thing?
That's the weird thing. He does walk into that World Sphere, and the World Sphere parts ways for him.
What the fuck?
Well, it is
He's
his.
designed this. He's not going to let it hurt himself.
Fuck
Hardest
this guy.
boss in the game.
I know you keep saying that.
Because it's true. I've been very worried. Okay. And that is going to be his turn. As the new round begins, and Asami, your turn comes around, that World Sphere is actually going to shift. And it is no longer containing that frozen wasteland from before. It is now going to be gravitational morass. The pull of gravity is amplified here. It immobilizes any creature in its area unless they can make a fortitude save. So Chuji, when you are in here, you'll need to make a fortitude save or be shoved down by gravity and unable to leave the area, or even to leave your space. Anyone who enters there will also have to put up with that. Masami, it is your turn. You got your shadows. Syndara was very close to being defeated there, but he was able to quickly heal himself by rewriting reality because he's
He's a bitch
very,
like that.
Yeah, fuck him, you know? Hey man, that's not cool.
Okay. I think
I will say
that...
you can only do that once, and I'm very sad he used it so early.
Well, LMAO. Well, he's gonna go into a world of hurt.
Okay.
Spell strike.
Oh shit. Because he's flanked, that is a crit.
Okay.
Oh my god.
6. Weird.
Weird?
Weird. And it's a spell attack that hit for a crit, so you know what? That will save don't matter.
So he just immediately takes the...
Takes the damage, yeah.
So first off, 56 damage to both of them. That heal is immediately being knocked away into the garbage.
It's counting the dice. 57 mental damage.
57 again? So 120... What the fuck is with you guys and...
It was also, that wasn't the crit damage, by the way.
What? No, oh my god. So that's gonna be 56 damage from the crit of the weapon, and then double of 57 for the crit of the weird?
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's really bad, actually. That is a total of 57 plus 57, that's 114 plus 56. That's 160 damage. That heal meant nothing. He's down to 13 HP. As Masami, you are overpowering him. And you have one action left, Masami. What do you do?
Yeah, I think with Masami's last action, they're going to... Yeah, I think they're just gonna go for a slight trip. Want to trip this man up while he's afraid and cowering for his life.
Okay. So he's frightened too, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, cool.
37.
37 against Syndara's Fortitude DC is going to be a fail, I'm afraid.
All right.
Even while he is frightened, he is stumbling back. You go for his legs. He jumps back, and he's looking at all of you, eyes wide. Says, "No, it can't end so easily. Not after 300,000 years."
Oh, this is why you should never underestimate your enemies.
And Masami, is that your turn?
That's their turn.
Senku, it's your turn. Syndara the Sculptor is on his last legs. Chuji and Masami are both fighting against him, but one last blow will be enough to destroy the sculptor. What do you do?
Could I maybe use title rings?
Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, you can use title rings. You're going to try to trap him even more? Lower his AC even more, buddy? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, make me that fucking spell attack roll.
44?
That'll work because he's frightened too. Syndara is trapped by rings of water that bind him all sides. And he looks around and says, No, I can't. I won't. And he's struggling and the world itself is shaking. What do you do with your last two actions?
I'll cast haste on Chuji, maybe?
Okay. Well, actually, you could cast on everyone, but if you cast on everyone because it's heightened. So it would affect everyone anyway.
Oh,
Not
okay,
that it matters. We're talking semantics here. We know where this is going. Everyone is boosted as, Senku, you wave your staff around, and Syndara the Sculptor is held in place. And Shichuji, it's your turn. Make me a fortitude save and see if the gravity is, stopping you from leaving this square, but it doesn't really matter.
They don't need to leave.
Yeah, 35, failure. You feel the force of this world sphere crushing you as you stand near a miniature black hole, but that doesn't matter because Syndara the Sculptor is there. You can see there is fear in his eyes. He's being grabbed. What do you do?
Would it be really funny if I used Finger of Death on him?
You sure can.
Would it be funny though?
You'd have two actions left if it didn't work, so yeah, I'd say go for it.
That's true. Okay, give me a 14 save.
That's a 50.
Okay, yeah, that fucking crit succeeds. Never mind.
You have two actions left.
One action, but that doesn't matter.
No, you're
because I
hasted.
flurry blows. Oh, that's true.
You're hasted. See, two
Two
actions.
action, one-inch punch then.
Okay, make this attack roll.
I'm just saying it would have been really funny if he died from a middle finger.
It would have been, but alas.
Yeah.
Alas.
You try, you show him the middle finger, and he snarls and says, I won't succumb, and the world around you is shaking and trembling.
Chuji's like, ugh, whatever. And they use a hero point. They use their last hero point.
Okay?
My god!
You,
Okay.
he's flanked.
Oh.
Roll me that damage, buddy.
Oh, boy. That's 40 damage.
Shichuji, how do you shatter the sculptor?
I think that Chuji pulls him up by his fucking collar, right up to their own face, and they say,
Hey, this is for every single person in Goka that died because of you.
and then they slam him into the ground, fist in his face, and there's a loud crunch.
Chuji, you ground pound Syndara the Sculptor into the ground, and the world shatters around you, and he is impacted into the floor. And he yells as the kaleidoscopic world around him starts to implode and continue to fold inwards and inwards and inwards. And you pull back and grin at your friends because you've done it. You've unmade the sculptor. And you turn and look at the man that you defeated, the one who has bested the Ruby Phoenix, who was trapped in here for 300,000 years, and watch as he screams in agony, his whole form glitching out, in and out of reality, a reality that he is woven and that he is a deity of. And it starts to glow, and then there's a flash of light as the whole lighthouse is pulled into him. And it continues pulling into him. And it continues pulling into him.
Uh-oh.
With a shattering sound, Syndara refracts into infinite tessellations of faces and arms. The walls of the glass lighthouse distort as the very space of the demiplane spirals inward to a central point, folding itself protectively around the writhing mass of limbs and bodies like the shell of some ancient sea creature, borne by sinewy crustacean legs, with tentacles and vines that twist and bite, and a large version of Syndara's torso that extends from the top of the carapace. Metal wings grow from one side of this monstrosity. Infinite eyes, infinite mouths, infinite faces all blend and chew into one enormous, gargantuan being. As the demiplane collapses, all that's left behind is the null space between planes, taking the form of an endless, starry void. And he begins to stand up. And what you see before you is no longer Syndara. It's the Spinel Leviathan.
Oh.
He's massive.
Holy
Size
shit.
gargantuan.
What the fuck is he?
Syndara is still present in the center of it. But with his eyes wide open and his jaws affixed into a permanent scream, you're not even sure he's aware anymore. From his left side, a massive floral bloom emerges out into a strange pair of spider-like limbs. Beneath him, wood and flora and fauna mixed together into a weird woody tripod base with eyeballs coming up it. Feathers explode out from one side, and then a weird metal ring emerges from his back and turns into massive knife-like shards. Tentacles splurge out, tendrils squirm, mouths open and close. And everyone, it's not a JRPG if the final boss doesn't have a second stage.
Have a phase 2.
Dude,
Everyone?
I love fighting a god instead of a person at the end.
We just fought the door boss, motherfuckers. This is the real deal.
Dice will will return after these messages. Hello everyone, and thanks for listening to this extremely special episode of Dice Will Roll. I am so glad it's finally here. I spent so long worrying about how it would go, and now that it's done, it's one of my favorite episodes I've ever recorded, and I really hope it's one of your favorites too. Thank you all so much for being so patient with how long it has taken us to get this episode out. I'd like to think that it has been worth the wait. This is the penultimate episode of Fists of the Ruby Phoenix. Next week, we will be putting out the grand finale of Campaign 3 of Dice for Roll. Then, 1 week later, we will be putting out a retrospective where we look back on the past of Ruby Phoenix and what it was like recording it and playing it and all that. If you have any questions, we will be answering them during that retrospective. So get your questions in as soon as you can. We'll be putting a link on the Discord probably today, and that'll be open until for like the next 3 days after this episode goes up. Afterwards, we will be going on a little break again because we will be figuring out when we want to do Campaign 4 over the next few months, because we have a few things going down. Some moves are being made. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is getting a remaster, all that stuff. So we'll be biding our time, but we won't be gone for very long. We'll probably have 1 or 2 special episodes to keep you entertained. But this will be the end of Campaign 3. And what a campaign it's been, huh? So, I hope you're ready for Phase 2 of the boss fight, everyone, because it's about to get unreal. Thank you all for listening, everyone, and as always, keep it rolling. We now return to Dice Will Roll. let's begin, shall we?
Oh,
I don't like this part of Akira.
Oh, yeah, this is some Akira nightmare
I
bullshit.
don't like this part.
So he re-rolls initiative. And even though he rolled a 2, he's now way higher up on the initiative order. This should give you an idea of the nightmare that you are about to face.
That's fantastic.
So, Masami, it's your turn. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no is correct.
What the hell do you do? Because, new boss, way stronger, way scarier.
I think Masami is going to use a free action to drop their Chokuto and quick draw their Blade of Four Energies.
Okay,
This is they're already hasted now thanks to Senku, so
that's right.
at the very least they'll still have that fourth action, which is great. Oh man. Oh god.
Yeah, it is.
I think they're just going to cast Enervation as a way to refresh their spell strike.
Okay.
So they will cast Enervation. I need a Fortitude save, please.
That's a 49.
Okay, that saves, so a success. He still takes 2d8 persistent negative damage.
Okay, cool. So he will take that. Excellent. This monstrous being that stands maybe 40 feet tall screams out with 100 different voices. The man who thought he could play God faces the effects of his own hubris as he becomes one with all the dimensions he's ever made.
Damn.
So 2d8 negative persistent damage?
Yeah.
Okay, let me... That's going to be very helpful.
And they're just going to take a step to continue flanking this guy as much as this man can be flanked. This dude's fucking huge. And that was their haste action, so that's their turn.
Okay. So, it is now the Spinel Leviathan's turn.
Okay.
And it's going to shriek. And it's going to use Dimensional Flurry.
Okay.
Syndara makes 6 strikes in 2 actions.
Okay.
And that is going to start with Spatial Pincers against you, Masami.
Keep in mind, I do have my clones.
Yep. So he'll have to roll a d4 to see if he hits you.
Yes.
That's
We'll
a
see if he hits me
44,
anyway.
which is a miss anyway.
Yeah.
Then he's going to make a tentacle attack against you.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 50 to hit.
A 50 hits, but let's see what he hits.
Yeah. Roll me a d4.
Rolls a 1. Is a 1 me or is a 4 me? I forget. Hitting me is a 1 on a 1d4. Okay. So, he hits me.
So that will hit you. So that's going to be 78 plus 18 bludgeoning damage. 53.
Okay. Mother of God.
Okay. And then he's going to attack you, Chuji. I will say, Masami, make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude save? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
44 with Juggernaut?
You're good. Nothing happened.
Okay.
You feel a shiver.
That scares me.
Chuji,
Yeah.
Spatial Pincers.
Oh.
Weird claws surge towards you, and that is going to be a 44 to hit.
A miss.
And then a tentacle slams down to get you.
Ow.
51.
That hits. Yep.
Okay. 37 bludgeoning damage.
Can the last wisp go and help Chuji not die, maybe?
Okay, Chuji, 20 healing as the wisp soothes your wound after you are hit by a giant monster tentacle.
Woo!
It is then going to attack you, Sanku. Oh wait, Chuji, make me a fortitude save.
I kind of don't want to. 38.
Chuji, you are teleported away.
Okay, bye.
When that attack comes down on you, you are moved 60 feet away when the flurry is complete. So you are, far away. He does not want to deal with you. But you're no longer fucked up by the gravity. Smile.
Smile.
And then Sanku, towards you, he's going to unleash a series of warp spines. Part of his body squirms, and then needles of steel just blast into you.
Okay.
So that's going to be 50 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
41 to hit.
The 41 does not hit.
Okay, well, Sanku, you take 19 piercing damage.
Okay.
And Lola's like, Sanku, watch out! I don't know what that thing is, but it shouldn't exist.
No, it should not.
With his last action, the Spinel Leviathan roars, and it is going to use Mover of Worlds. He's going to call down several world spheres. And he can't use this again for a few rounds, but he's going to bring down more world spheres that rocket down from the sky like meteors. And that's going to be just a few of them thrown around the map to make moving a little more difficult for you all. Sanku, Witch Prince of the Sea, it is your turn. Oh my god. What the hell do you do? Because there are several bubbles that have several stars crash from the sky now, and they explode with light, and you can see more bubbly world spheres just all around the map. And Syndara is up there with Masami. Shuji was teleported away by that attack, and you were struck by weird spines. What the hell do you do?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast Life Boost on myself.
Okay, go for it.
I have, can I use one of my hero points? I have a card that lets me, it's quick casting.
Okay, so how does this work?
I can cast with one action less than usual.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna use the rest of my actions to cast Summon Kaiju.
Okay, sure, you're gonna cast Summon Kaiju in 2 actions, got it.
Yeah.
Sanku, what is this Summon Kaiju?
I'm gonna summon him. I'm gonna summon our boy. I'm gonna summon King Golarion, thank you.
Oh my god.
Sanku, far, far away from here, a monster swims through the sea. But then there's a blast of light from around it, and its spirit is transported here, and it stands before the Spinel Leviathan, far taller than it, far more monstrous. The king of the kaiju arrives, and King Mugaru roars. What happens when he arrives?
Arrive. Trance of the King's melody. Mugaru manifests with a burst of the song that summoned him, requiring all foes within 60 feet who can hear him, I assume that this means, yeah, to attempt a will save, leaving them stunned 3 on a failure.
What? Excuse me?
Thank you.
You heard the man.
Okay, and this isn't incapacitation, it just is?
It says auditory enchantment mental.
Oh my god. Okay, that's a 34.
Not even close.
Holy shit. Okay, so what happens is there's a blast of light and then emerging. Dun, dun, dun. King Mugaru comes out of the smoke and sees Syndara. And I think a part of him recognizes that this monstrosity took his baby. And King Mugaru roars, and there's a surge of that calming music that has hypnotized Mugaru and historically been used to capture him. And the Spinel Leviathan turns and looks up at him, and it is frozen in place. It misses its next turn.
You're welcome.
Horrifying.
Get his ass. Shichuji, holy shit. You were teleported away, you're 60 feet away. There is that gravity zone. You could zip around him. He's frozen in place right now. He can't do anything.
Fantastic.
You have 4 actions. What do you do?
They spent one of those actions getting over there. because they're just so fast. And they're gonna spend their last 2 actions. I'm gonna 2 action again this turn, but next turn I'm gonna make it a point to change my stance.
Okay. 2 action, 1 inch punch. Let's go. Can you hit him?
45.
45 is a hit because you're flanking him.
I love flanking with you,
Bro.
bro.
Masami, your opportune backstab.
You know
That's
what?
47
You know what?
damage from Chuji.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I'm gonna be using my opportune backstab.
Okay, go for it. The 2 of you team up on this guy because, seriously.
27.
Okay. Just so you all know, he is 500 HP.
Yeah.
You're going to need to go all out.
Okay.
All right.
Between the 2 of you, that's 47 plus 27. That's going to be 74 damage between the 2 of you.
Fuck this Sephiroth guy.
Yeah, this is very one-winged angel, right?
Oh, incredibly.
And Chuji, you have one action left because you are hasted.
I forgot I'm hasted. Flurry of blows.
Okay, give it a shot.
Okay, well, one of them definitely hits for sure.
They're both hits because
okay,
it's being flanked, and the other one is a nat 20. Oh my god, Chuji, roll me a d6.
Kill him. Kill
Roll
him.
me a
Kill him.
d6.
Okay, D6,
Come on, 5 or 6, please, God.
Okay. Disregard that damage, by the way.
6.
That's a 6.
Chuji,
There's no way.
Kill him.
There's no way, dude. Like, I'm looking at that.
that's
Like, that was
twice
real.
in the same session that you're going to do max crit damage.
Okay.
88 damage to the god of the glass lighthouse. And then the other damage from your other attack.
30.
Okay. He needs to make a fortitude save to see if he is stunned even more.
Yes. That saves, yeah.
He is definitely not stunned even more. That's a 57.
That's probably a crit.
But yeah, okay. Masami, it is your turn. The Spinel Leviathan is currently staring up at King Mugaru. What do you do?
They are going to use a free action to activate their Blade of Four Energies.
Okay.
So I must roll a d4 to figure out which element I am using currently.
Okay.
That is a 2. I'm using fire.
Okay.
That means I will have some extra fire damage going on with this.
Okay. Excellent. He did also take 2d8 negative damage before.
Well,
So that's going to be...
10.
He did take 10 more damage, by the way. Cool. And it's still going. So, cool. Your enervation's still doing some work.
awesome. And they are going to do a little spell strike.
That is a hit. Roll me that damage. You're so lucky you're flanking.
Damage is 28.
Okay.
And the spell strike is... Oh, plus my 1d6 fire damage, so... 6, so add 6 to the 28.
Jesus Christ.
And then, spell strike... Boil blood.
Oh my god. Does he even have blood? Probably. There's probably some blood
There's
there
a
somewhere. just
million
not where you
different
expect
kinds
it.
of blood. Pick one.
I don't like
Do you want squid blood? Do you want man blood?
Okay. So, he takes full damage and is drained too, huh?
Yeah. Full damage is
Ooh.
10d10, which is 54 damage.
Very nice. You are actually really bringing it down on him. Holy shit. You've already brought him down to 130 HP.
Woo!
You guys are kicking his ass.
You said don't hold back, so I was like, okay, what other big spells do I have?
Okay.
Okay, so that was a free action plus 2 actions. I have 2 actions left thanks to haste.
Okay.
I think Masami is just going to make a strike, just a standard strike.
That is a hit because you're flanking. I'm so fucking mad.
Damage is 20 plus 5 fire damage.
Okay.
and they're going to take an action to refresh their spell strike.
Okay. Holy shit. The Spinel Leviathan is stunned tree and cannot look away from King Mogaru. And that means that with Sanku's 10th level spell, he loses all of his actions this turn and cannot do anything.
That's true.
The Spinel Leviathan squirms. Its body is awful and distended. Mineral, matter, monster. It is horrifying to look at. And it screams as King Mugaru roars right back. Sanku, it's your turn. What do you do?
Well, I believe a little kaiju has his depart action.
Okay, do you want to do that now? Do you want to do that at the end?
Maybe at the end. Let's see, what should I do? Okay, actually I do. Okay, I did get some fast healing, which is awesome. I think that Sanku is going to cast hydraulic push.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll have Lolo do it? Maybe
Okay,
he feels
sure.
like doing it, just cuz.
So you're going to use Siphon Power not to use your spell slot for it?
But I think Sanku's like, Lolo, I see it, I see an in. How many points? For Lolo to cast hydraulic push.
So, hydraulic push, Lolo says, all right, Sanku, let's do this. And he stands on your shoulder and he conjures a ball of water in his hand and then shoots a hydraulic push, level 9, directly into the Spinel Leviathan.
41.
It's unfortunately a miss.
Could I use a hero point? I have 2.
Well, actually, no, I don't think it matters.
Huh?
Portal redirection.
Oh.
Syndara snaps to look at you. And the Spinel Leviathan roars as that water blast shoots into him. And before it hits him, he raises one of those awful arms made of, I think, twisting tree bark with the fangs, like the claws of a hawk at the end. And a portal opens. And it's not the regular circular portal. It's a jagged, awful-shaped thing.
Oh, weird.
It's like, you know when you use a lasso tool in an art program and you just scribble randomly?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Bits and like scraps of portal formed into this awful screaming mess. And then another one opens behind Masami. And he's going to make a ranged strike against you, Masami, using that range attack that was from Sanku. Masami does a 57 hit.
Yes, it does, but I'm gonna ask clones.
Oh god, please the clones!
4.
Oh,
That
thank God.
is poison damage.
Okay, so he's going to take 10 poison damage. As this portal... Lolo shoots a beam of water into the portal, and then the portal opens it up, takes it, and shoots into you, Masami, but only hits one of your clones. And the Spinel Leviathan roars, and Lolo... Ha! Sanku!
Oh, jeez. Okay.
I've never seen anything like this. We must proceed with the utmost of caution.
Okay.
So that is going to be 10 damage to him. But he's got HP to spare. He is getting very badly injured, but he's still going. And you can see he's beginning to channel up some sort of strange ability. And if you're not careful, he will unleash it on his next turn.
Okay.
With the end of your turn, Senku, comes something else.
Oh, I do have one more action.
Oh, what do you do?
I'm just gonna cast shield. Like, I just want to cast shield.
Maybe a good idea. You cast a scaly bubble around you, and your AC will be boosted. Thank goodness.
It's holographic. Smile.
However, looming above the Spinel Leviathan, King Mogaru opens his mouth. And Sanku, what happens on the depart?
On the depart, volcanic breath. Mogaru unleashes his scorching breath in a 120-foot cone. Each creature in the area takes 10d6 fire damage with a basic reflex save. On a failure, it also takes 46 persistent fire damage. So.
Okay. So he has to make a reflex save, huh? 48.
Oh man. Yeah, that succeeds.
How much damage is that?
It's still half of 10d6.
Holy shit. Okay, so roll me that 10d6.
38.
Okay, that's nice. So he's going to take half of that. That is going to be 19 damage. He's not looking good, Senku. I mean, the fact you stole a turn from him is really the main part of this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Senku, that is your turn. Mogaru roars and shoots a lava beam into Syndara, but now that he's got his full wits about him, he turns and raises another hand and catches some of that magma in his other hand, which I think is a swarm of tentacles, and chokes out most of it. And it lets out a shriek, and Mogaru fades into nothingness. But far away, the real Mogaru turns his head towards the wall of heaven and begins to swim.
I love the way you word things. It's so evil.
That's a surprise tool that will help us later, I'm sure. Chuji, it's your turn. The Spinel Leviathan is now fully aware of what's going on. It's looking badly beaten. But now that it is no longer hypnotized by that spell that Senku cast, it looks like it is ready to do some serious pain. And you can see little balls of energy are starting to like float out of it, like out of its weird like crevices in its body, the cliffs between different parts of it, if that makes sense. The gaps in its plates. Weird energy is starting to hiss out. Something bad is coming. What do you do?
I would like to enter a different stance for free.
Okay, you're dropping Phoenix Feather Stance 4.
Dragon stance.
Okay, cool. Chuji, your foot slams down onto the ground and you're ready for some serious kicking.
Am I still hasted?
You are.
Life is good. 3 action, 1-inch punch, 1-inch kick.
Okay.
48.
That is a hit. Roll me that damage.
66 damage.
66? Jeez.
High damage stance.
Okay, I definitely had I think my audio dipped there for a second. That's fine. 66, holy shit. Okay, cool. He's still standing. He's looking badly beaten. You kick him and I think a few parts of him come off, you know? But the monstrous mountain of meat and metal and flesh and plant turns and shrieks at you with that discordant choir of voices. And, oh god, it's awful.
It sure is. I hate this thing. Flurry of blows. I don't do anything, never mind. Both of those do not hit.
Unfortunately, as you throw yourself, you hit it. You do physically hit it.
Yeah.
But its weird body is so thick and fleshy that your attacks are like being absorbed. I think where once it was metal, suddenly as your fists connect, it turns to sap and tries to suck your hands in.
Ugh. Gross.
It's adapting. It's evolving to your attacks. The perfect life form.
Oh my god, it's perfect cell.
This is peak male, and if you don't agree with that, get off my blog.
Masami, it is your turn. What do you do?
They are going to spell strike.
Okay, go for it.
49.
That's gonna be a hit. Roll me that damage.
The spell is actually going to be from their blade, and since it's a greater flaming rune now, the spell is Fireball, level 7 Fireball.
Very nice. Okay, Masami, you channel a blazing blast into him as your sword cuts through the plants and metal, melting and scorching it into awful ends.
45 damage.
Okay, he takes that. Very good.
And then to refresh their spell strike, they are going to just cast a standard gouging claw, I think.
Okay, go for it.
And that is a 49 to hit.
A 49 is going to be a hit, yeah.
With a damage of 36.
Okay, you do that to him. He is looking really, really bad. But alas, it's his turn. And even though he is basically almost dead, he has one last turn. And from his back 3 wings sprout on his right side. The wings of a crow, the wings of a dragonfly, and the wings of a demon. And they flap out all as one, and they take off, and he flies 60 feet into the air. And when he is safely out of the way...
Does that count for standstill?
Does that
might.
count for...
It might do.
I see.
It might.
That's another
Might
Dariism I really like. It might do.
I see. Hold on.
39.
39 is a miss, unfortunately, Shuji.
Fuck, 38.
So homophobic.
Thank you.
This is so homophobic.
You both launch yourselves at him, but the Spinel Leviathan shoots upwards too fast for you all. And as it looks down at you all, it exhales and uses its ultimate attack. World Destroyer. Do you remember when he called down those stars?
Mm-hmm.
He created those worlds. A miniature black hole. Over there's a desert wasteland teeming with sand. There's a world which is just time moving backwards and forwards at the same time, a torrent of water falling in an ever-turning spiral. And over there, far in the distance, there is a plane which has basically got 6 miniature planets orbiting one another. He created them, and now he destroys them. With a wave of a hand, each of those world spheres explodes. And everyone who's adjacent to them needs to make a reflex save.
Oh,
And wouldn't
fuck.
you know it, you're all adjacent. This is his final attack. It kind of goes from left to right, bam, 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 you know? Explosions, and explosions as he destroys his fondest creations.
I
think it's time to use the hero point, KK!
Oh my god.
Now is not a good time for a crit fail, Masami.
No, it is not. It is not.
Well,
There is
No,
only
bitch.
karma. There is only
Isn't that
karma for
ironic?
Kicker.
That's fun. That's great.
It's a reflex save?
Uh-huh.
Okay. 39.
39 is a fail. A crit success is obviously a success. So that's a fail, Sanku, that's a fail, Chuji. Masami, that's a critical success. But that is going to be 20d6 fire damage as his worlds are nuked.
Oh my god.
That is 83 damage to both of you. How are you two looking?
alive.
By how much?
35.
I'm alive by, if you ask me on a scale of 1 to 228, 23.
Not great. That's pretty low, honestly.
No, I think it's pretty high. I think it's pretty high. I'm missing being Alden right about now.
Unfortunately, with his last action, he's going to shoot at you, Masami, a warp spine. More awful attacks, just kind of like rocket launch needles at you, the size of javelins. And Masami, that is going to be a 59 to hit, Masami.
Not cool.
Not cool, dude.
Not cool, man.
I mean, was it a single target attack because clone?
Oh, no! Roll me a d4.
2. That is not me.
Okay, so
That's another 10 acid damage.
okay, he takes 10 acid damage. He's looking bad up there. He's looking really bad. Come on. Sanku, Witch Prince of the Sea, it's your turn. He's up in the sky. He just nuked you all with a god attack. But you've got 3 actions, and you are healed for, like, a little bit of HP thanks to life boost. Yay. What do you do? Lolo's on your shoulder and says, "Think rash now, Sanku. It's now or never. We must defeat the sculptor." Sanku, it is your turn. The Spinel Leviathan is it is up in the air. It is maybe 60 feet up, looking down at you all with an awful expression in its many, many eyes. What do you do?
It's 60 feet in the air?
Yeah, it's a fair bit up.
Okay. Well, I want to use hydraulic push, but I don't want him to stop it.
It would be poetic to take him out with hydraulic push, but alas, you know that he's got his portal redirections to stop exactly that. So what's the plan instead?
I'm gonna fly up,
Okay.
so that I... Go ahead.
No go.
I'm gonna fly up so that I can cast, or so that I can use Dragon's Breath. Or, I guess that is casting.
Yeah, so say it again.
I'm gonna go up, or I'm
Mhm.
gonna fly up so that I can cast Dragon's Breath.
Okay, you're getting into his range. Reflex instead of spell attack?
Yep.
Well, I've got bad news for you, my friend, because I've got a plan for that too. The Spinel Leviathan sees you coming, and it just looks at you. And as you are flying, speeding towards it, you realize that it has another ability.
Mm-hmm.
Center of the universe. You are flying directly towards it, but you are not making any progress in space. At the end of your action, he is the exact distance that you were already, even though you spent all that time flying towards him. He just used his reaction to stop you from using your reflex attack on him. He just used his reaction to stop you from using Dragon's Breath on him. You are nowhere close to being in range. Sorry.
Oh, he used his reaction.
Yeah.
Oh. Then he can't stop me.
Oh no. Oh. Oh no.
Senku points his staff, and he closes his eyes, and he thinks about everything that's brought him here, and he unleashes one last hydraulic push. That's a 48.
Senku, that is a hit. Okay, roll me that damage.
62.
The Spinel Leviathan has 10 HP. Senku, which Prince of the Sea, tell me how you destroyed the Spinel Leviathan.
I think Senku uses one hand to sort of hold on to Lolo as he flies high up into the air, where he's like level with the Leviathan. And I think he like stands up so that he's like balancing like a surfboard on his staff, and it's just like a torrent of water. I think it looks like colorful, like you know when like water is like reflected by light. Like it's really pretty water, but it's gonna kill him.
And I think with that, the shell of the Spinel Leviathan's form shatters into a haze of glowing dust. As the Spinel Leviathan is shattered into dust, clouds of gold fade, and standing here is Syndara the Sculptor. The infinite void that surrounded you is turned to nothing, and then it flashes, and you're standing in the center of a plain stone room. The sandstone throne before you, and the table holding Hao Jin's hourglass beside him. Syndara, bruised, battered, his hair tousled, his lip busted, his eyes staring, he looks around and shakily adopts a fighting stance. And combat continues. Shi-Chuji, it is your turn. What do you do?
I beat the shit out of him. I beat the ever-loving dog shit out of him.
His AC is 15. What do you do? He is... This is all that's left. This is all that's left.
My god.
Shi-Chuji, you have 4 actions.
3 action, 1 inch punch. 49.
A 49? That is naturally a critical success against a guy with 15 AC. Holy shit. Roll me a d6. That's a 5. Chuji, that's gonna be max damage.
Jesus Christ.
So that will be 10d10. That's 10 times 10, that's 100 damage, plus 12, that's 112 damage, times 2, that's 224 damage to a guy with 1 HP. Chuji, how do you defeat the man who is behind everything that's gone wrong in the journeys of the champions of the Ruby Phoenix?
Eternity is so much longer than 300,000 years.
They punch downwards. It's like fatality. That's what it is. You could see everything crack through the X-ray.
Oh my god.
He says one last thing right before that hit punch lands. As he sees you pulling your fist back, his eyes widen and he lowers his hands a little bit and says, "Huh, you've won." And then your fist collides with the top of his head and pummels it down into the stone beneath him, and there is a crack. Zoom in, X-ray. Fatality. Flawless fucking victory. And Chuji, you kill the man who killed the Ruby Phoenix. And as he connects with the ground, he explodes into clouds of golden dust. And as you pull back your hands, your fists are covered in gold. And there is nothing left of him. Nothing except that gold in the air. And the impact knocks over the table with the hourglass on it. And it shatters into pieces. And when it does, it's not just the gold dust of Syndara that's left. It's the ashes of a phoenix, which glow red hot. And for that extreme level encounter, you have all gained 160 experience points.
No.
Shut up!
Suddenly, a crack of gold shoots up the walls of this stone room. And Masami, you recognize that this is the same gold that makes Syndara. And I think you're a smart person, right? Masami, historically, has been incredibly intelligent, right?
They tend to be when they want to be.
I think you realize that perhaps Syndara placed himself as the keystone to each of his worlds to reinforce his power over them. And now that he's gone, they're crumbling.
Oh, fuck.
Chuji, do you scoop up Haujin? What do you do?
Yeah, Chuji takes out their other fucking fan, and they like start putting it back into like the broken hourglass
Chuji,
as
wait.
best they can.
Wait,
Huh?
you have something to put her in.
Oh my god! Chuji takes out their bottle of pocket sand.
Oh my.
And you pour the sand out and scoop Haujin
Oh my
up.
god!
I think like Sanku uses like magic to make sure that they've got all of her.
You do that, you stopper it, and Lola's like, "Everyone, I'd say we'd best be going."
Okay.
And just
Cool.
as he says that, the world decides for you. Yeah, let's go. Because you fall through a kaleidoscopic void as each miniature world around you similarly cracks and explodes into golden crystalline dust.
Oh my god.
World by world, it winks out, and suddenly you are high in the sky of the material plane. And you realize that the island in the sky is falling. Someone did the math on this. It would take 35 seconds for an island of this size to fall from the sky and hit the sea around the wall of heaven. What do you guys do? You're like kind of land on all your feet. Kubo cracks down beside you, and do you feel the wind rushing as the island is falling and falling?
Where's Moku?
Where is Moku?
Where's Moku?
Where did Moku go?
Where did we put Moku? Sanku in immediate tears.
Oh no.
You have 35 seconds. You don't necessarily have time to figure out where he is.
Oh my god.
Would you guys like to make a perception check?
Yeah.
I could maze us.
Yeah.
Well, 36.
Whatever's fine.
The island's falling.
Yeah, huh? Mhm.
43.
Chuji, over there, on the horizon, southwest. There's a big fucking boat in the sky.
There's a big fucking boat in the sky.
The celestial Jian is powering towards you all. And as the island is tilting and gravity starts pulling you, the island's about to enter freefall, you guys can jump, run towards this boat, and jump onto it. As you see Yosaron gripping the steering wheel, be like, all right, everyone, come on, over here! And you see that the deck is full of yokai and a giant spirit tortoise and all the other good creatures you met on this place.
Holy shit. Chuji's running.
Running.
I think Senku, like, he's going, like, he's on his staff. I think he's like holding on to it, like that one scene in Kiki's Delivery Service where she's trying to fly as fast as possible. But he's like holding out a hand in case anybody needs like a like a hand when they're jumping.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, Masami, you've got your wings, I guess. Sanku, you've got your broom. Chuji, you might need a hand, otherwise you're jumping on, right?
Chuji has really good jumping.
Yeah, his whole
Okay,
thing's
do you want to
jumping.
jump?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that Ritz might have just died there.
I think Masami is like using the cape as sort of a glide to help them jump.
Okay. And as you're rushing all of you towards this place, you hear Lolo be like, everyone, behind us! And you turn, and chasing after you all as Bahai Kubo is scrambling towards you is a pink dinosaur.
God.
Oh my god.
Moku is chasing you and running and screeching because he doesn't know what's going on.
Moku.
He's
No,
literally
the baby's
just
scared.
like a little guy.
And as you are all dashing off the side of this tilting island, falling, T-minus 20 seconds until it lands. I need each of you to make an athletics check or some other check to fly onto that boat. Private, please.
Fuck.
I think Ritz may just die instead.
Here's my private one.
Athletics, just athletics?
Any role you can justify.
I think acrobatics for me because, yeah. Is that okay?
I will
That's
also
fine.
do acrobatics, just because
Okay.
much more
That makes
nimble.
sense.
Masami, Sanku, the two of you quickly shoot onto the boat. Bahai Kubo runs and then pushes itself and leaps and clangs onto the side. And Shichuji, as you are running, you jump and you soar through the sky. And you don't quite make it. And as you are reaching out, Chuji, a hand seals around your wrist and catches you. And you look up into the winning smile of Tino Tung.
I will kill myself. I'll kill myself right now. I will kill myself right now in front of you.
I'm gonna throw up.
I had a puke.
Hey, he says, grinning. I don't think this is a time that you're gonna go down. Come on.
Chuji's eyes get so watery and they're like, pull me up, you old piece of shit.
You are yanked onto the boat, and Tino Tung pulls you into a hug. And all around you, the yokai, Rikanzo and Shio, the stupid little, the fucking Rokurokubi, the old lady, all of them, they cheer. Sanku Masami, you land right near the spirit tortoise, who looks and says, "Oh, Chuji, Masami, where's Moku?" And Kader points and says, "There! He's still running!" And Moku leaps. And he misses. And no one can catch him. He falls and you hear him wail as he plummets towards the sea. A sea T-minus 10 seconds before the island collapses.
No, can I cast maze on him?
You don't need to. You really want to cast maze on someone? You can cast it on Tino.
do. Okay, cast maze on Tino.
You don't need to. Because the sea explodes. And a titanic shape emerges with a roar. And King Mogaru catches Moku. Called here by your summon, Sanku. King Mogaru holds Moku in his hand and roars, and Moku roars back, and the two of them hug each other. He kind of brings Moku up to his chest and snuggles him a little bit. He's basically just holding him in his hand. He's fucking massive compared to this giant dinosaur baby. The island splashes beside him, showering King Mugaru in sea foam, and all of you cheer atop the celestial Jan. And Mugaru turns and looks at the island of Syndara. It's been evacuated of all the good creatures, the ones that you met on your travels. Anyone that you made friends with is now here on the celestial Jan. But there's still plenty of monsters, demons, and foul relics that Syndara called to this place. And so, King Mugaru roars and channels up the largest laser breath you've seen him do so far. And he razes Syndara's island, leaving nothing but a barren plateau, destroying everything that was once upon it, and leaving it into nothing but interesting shaped stones jutting from the sea. The celestial Jan speeds off into the distance, and the yokai, the creatures you've met, everyone, they cheer as King Mugaru roars, hugs Moku close, and sinks beneath the sea. How are you all doing, you tree?
Well, Sanku's been through lots of emotions in 30 seconds, so they're like, oh god.
You know the old 2000s 90s anime expression where it's just two big white eyes and like a box mouth with sharp teeth at either end?
Yeah, should you do that?
Yeah.
I think as Masami was watching, and they see that Moku is safe, they kind of just squat and put their head up against like the wall of the Solar John and just like panting because they didn't have any time to process anything. It's just go, 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 go.
Captain Baku.
And it's been one hell of a thing.
Captain Baku comes up from behind you tree and says, "You did it!" Holds you onto a big hug. Come on!
Oh, I nearly died. I'm in so much pain.
Oh my... Bibus, Mara's breasts. What happened to you? You look like you're barely... Oh, now's the time to go on to make colloquialisms, is it? And Clover comes over and says, "But you're all right? You're safe, all of you?"
We're good. We're so good.
Yeah.
You're...
Thank God.
And Kader comes up and says, "Did you do it? You defeated Master Syndara?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do whatever I like then.
Yeah.
Okay.
What will you do?
Tino, I don't know, and that's exciting. Tino grins and ruffles your hair, Chuji, and says, "Hey, I always knew you guys could do it. You're the best fighters in the world."
Say it again one more time.
I think Malako kind of exhales and says, "I don't think we need to. I think rather the history books will say so. The Radiant Winds with your strange golden fists. What happened to you?" Zumi says, "Who cares about what happened to you? You're all in one piece. We're all in one piece. We're free. Whatever you did, it woke us up."
I'm so fucking happy it did.
And Gig cheers and says, "Three cheers for the Radiant Winds!" The yokai of the night market cheer and roar. I think Rikanzo turns into a big party popper and pops a little bit, to celebrate.
Oh, that's cute.
But as all this is happening, suddenly, Chuji, you feel something in your hands.
Huh?
Something getting hotter and hotter.
Ow.
It's your pocket sand.
Oh, fuck. They open the cork.
With a blast of flame, there is an eruption of sparks, and it twirls and forms, and there, standing before you, is Hao Jin, the Ruby Phoenix. And I think there's maybe almost like some kintsugi on her cheeks. Gold dust from Syndara. It'll always be a little bit of a part of her. Streaks of golden in her red hair and on her cheeks and in her eyes. The dust of his defeat and the ashes of her rebirth. And she smiles at the three of you. She saw everything. And she says, well, hello.
Hi.
I couldn't save you.
That's okay.
You shouldn't have had to do any of that. This was my mistake to fix, no one else's, and yet you were pulled into it, and I'm so sorry.
Hey, that's in the past now. What matters is that you're here, and you're alive.
I suppose that's the best anyone can ask for, isn't it? She smiles weakly at you. I could have reformed myself, you know, even inside that hourglass. It probably would have only taken me a few thousand years, but I would have gotten out. I appreciate the help, though.
I'm glad it didn't take so long.
She looks around at Celestial Jean, at the yokai, at Yutri, and she says, why don't we head back to Goka? I think we
Please.
have a crowning ceremony to get back to, don't we?
Oh my god.
Yes, we do.
Believe me if I said I almost forgot about that.
I also almost forgot about that.
It eats up the entirety of my being and every second that I'm alive.
Yeah,
well, at least
that's-
one of us would have remembered.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
could
matter if we
forget.
all forgot.
Listen, there are a lot of things that happened, okay?
I was a little focused on other things.
And Lolo Sadagat on your shoulder chirps and says, everyone, let's go home. And with that, Yosaron says, next stop, the City of Wonders. Goka, here we come. And the Solar Jan lets out a noise, like a few creaks, before it turns away from the wall of heaven. It turns away from King Mogaru, who has emerged onto its bay to nuzzle with Moku. And it shoots back to Goka at warp speeds, ready to bring you all to one last goodbye with all your friends and to your ultimate prize with the Ruby Phoenix tournament. And that's where we're going to end it today, everyone. Stop recording.
Holy shit.
This episode of Dice Will Roll would not have been possible without the support of our patrons. Actually a Bot, Violet, Seraphine, Kyle Damon, Maxine Mainstream, Soul Grease Lobo, Nick Roberts, Phoebe Jeebies, Daisy Gilliam, Lux Rexus, Better Than Stormcrow, Sam Stryker, Tony Saunders, Nita, Arave, Varia and the Girls, Marshmallowberry, Ferric Falcon, Luis Loza, Aries, Alexander Griswold, May Cohen, Skyly, Kendra West, Genuinely Tricked, Transgirl Trish, Baal Punya, Matthew Wilson Krasovich, Tillen Shark, Glitch HD, Jace Snooks, Jonathan Love, Sophia Valera, G. Barbera, Luke, Gideon, Sarah B, Seth, Kira, Lichelo, Gizmo, Taliesin, Cass, Fable McElduff, Ava, Rem T. Bright, Lonesome Chunk, Steph, Sean C, Natasha Lee Lumley, Rhiannon C, Ellie, Jenna Mitchell, Kane Kendrick, Sky Evangeline, Triceratops, Anna Maria, Jordan, Emily Laderna, John de Bocarter, SS66 Seeker, and Dane Valerie III. If you'd like to see what you can get for helping us keep it rolling and prepare for Dice Will Roll Campaign 4, check out patreon.com/dicewillroll today.